Coin confusion. Samuel looked through troubled eyes at his sister and said, I wouldn't have thought Everett would be a thief. His sister Emily replied, Whoa there, we don't know that for sure. That's a serious accusation to make against your best friend. Samuel's eyes were dark as he said, But who else could it be? He was there, he had them in his hands, and now they're missing. Samuel remembered 2 days ago when he had brought out his coin collection for Everett to see. He had received a new coin as an early birthday gift from his aunt, and he was very excited about it. Some time ago, the United States government decided to create new designs for the quarters that represented each state. 5 new designs were issued each year. He now had every state quarter that had been issued. He had silver dollars and coins from different countries, too, but none meant as much as his quarter collection. Samuel loved it because he and his dad were both collecting the coins. It was like a game they played to see who could complete his collection first. Everett knew how much the collection meant to Samuel. At the end of that day, Samuel's mother had said, Samuel, will you please take this recipe to Mr. Bates down the street? He's trying to prepare it for dinner tonight, so would you go now? Samuel had turned to his friend and said, Is it okay if I leave you for a few minutes? Everett had said, Actually, I have an errand to run, but you go on ahead, and I'll clean up here, gesturing at the piles of coins on the floor. When Samuel had returned from Mr. Bates's house, he had done his homework, had eaten dinner, and had read for a while before bed. It never occurred to him to check his coins. It was not until 2 days later that he realized the quarters were gone. The foreign coins were there, but his quarter set was missing. Samuel's sister said, Why don't you just ask him? Ask him what? Replied Samuel scornfully. Hey, best friend, did you steal my coin collection? Well, maybe you could just mention you can't find your set of quarters and ask him where he put it when he cleaned up, replied Emily. Samuel thought for a moment, deciding if that would be a good idea. The theft of his collection left him with a feeling of betrayal. How could I have misjudged my friend's character? The next day, Samuel went over to Everett's house. Everett was acting funny, sort of jittery, like he couldn't be still. In fact, Samuel thought Everett was acting like someone with a secret. Anger blossomed as he watched Everett pretend to be kind and pretend to be his friend, when Everett had obviously stolen from him. Samuel finally could not stand it anymore and stood up. Suddenly, Everett cried, I can't stand it anymore! Samuel was astonished at hearing his own thoughts burst forth from his friend. Only instead of sounding guilty or anguished, Everett sounded excited. Samuel watched his friend jump up and pull something from underneath the chair. Go on, open it. I was going to wait until your birthday tomorrow, but I can't wait. Slowly, Samuel lifted the top of the box. Silver flashed at him, and his eyes suddenly stung. Laid out in front of him in glorious splendor were all of the quarters from his coin collection. Each quarter was nestled in its own spot in a collection case. Each quarter shone like it was new. Samuel felt heat rush over his neck and ears. He weakly said, Thank you. This means a great deal to me. He was grateful that Everett had cut him off before he had said something he would regret. Everett was exactly the type of person he wanted as a friend.